It's a wonderful day in West Virginia. Welcome to the Daily 304 Innovators and Entrepreneurs feature. Here at the Daily 304, we are committed to sharing the wealth, beauty, opportunity, and innovation that's here in wonderful, almost heaven, West Virginia. Twice a month, we introduce you to innovators and entrepreneurs and dig a little deeper into their companies, their work, their purpose, and the reasons they are here in the Mountain State and proud to call themselves West Virginians. Today we are joined by Brian Joseph. He's the owner and founder of Touchstone Research Laboratory in Wheeling, West Virginia. Touchstone is a global name in research and development, generating billions of dollars in sales for their clients each year. It's not just money they're making. Touchstone is creating new and improved products all the time. Mr. Joseph holds more than 20 patents alone. Brian Joseph, thank you for being here on the Daily 304 Innovators and Entrepreneurs Show.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. I love this program.
Thank you, sir. We've heard of companies starting in a garage. Your story seems to have some similar beginnings with $100 in the basement of a monastery. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I was in graduate school at Ohio State. I had gone a 4-year degree from West Liberty University, which is a local school here, and then went to Ohio State University to study biophysics. And while there, I found an electron microscope that was for sale. It was being sold as metal scrap. So for $100, I was able to buy it. It was $69,000 9 years earlier. Brought it, rebuilt it in the basement of a monastery. So as a monastery, it was just being converted over into apartments and rented a little room for $25 a month. Rebuilt that, and then I never got a job. So I started my own research laboratory. I started by going around and saying, I'll help you solve your manufacturing problems, and I'll use this piece of equipment to do it. And then it built from there for years of doing that before we started doing developing our own products.
I'll be honest with you, I've never stumbled across an electron microscope in the trash. So I'm very grateful that you did for all of the great things you're going to share with us now. So from those humble beginnings, what's happened and what kind of products and companies are you helping grow and prosper in the Northern Panhandle of West Virginia?
Well, so what we like to do is we like to invent new materials, and then from there, we spin out businesses. So as an example, we invented a foam that we make from coal. And when I say that, it's hard for people to picture it, so I'm gonna hold up a piece. This is looks like a black monolith, right? So it's unbelievably rigid, if you can hear that.
Yeah.
You can set a car on 1 square inch and it wouldn't crush, and it's completely fireproof. It's made entirely from coal, which is sort of interesting. Coal really would like to be a solid. It doesn't like changing to a liquid or gas. It does really well as a solid. So we had 27 patents in that area. We invented a whole lot of things, and then we invented lots of applications, energy absorbing blast structures, like military type things.
Those are on aircraft carriers, is that correct?
Yes, things.
It's kind of the thing the plane pushes against, the jets hit it, and that's
absolutely, yeah.
Right.
Very good.
I study my carbon products, sir. So that's right. How else are those products used?
It's probably the best material in the world for making the molds for carbon fiber airplane parts.
Wow.
And the reason is carbon fiber parts do not expand and contract with temperature. So when you cure airplane parts, you have to put them in an oven and warm them up. So if you use aluminum, steel, ceramics, almost everything expands and contracts too much to make really accurate parts. And this is like the world's best material. And I really love the fact that we're making that you can take this really ancient material and make state-of-the-art materials with it. In fact, I spun out another business called Touchstone Advanced Composites. Touchstone Advanced Composites makes the molds for carbon fiber airplane parts. And we've done, recently we did a solar sail, so the molds to make a boom. So picture a giant square kite, and it's going to be moved in space by the light from the sun, just applying pressure and moving it. And it's going to go 240,000 miles an hour with no propellant.
That's insane.
That's a solar sail.
And that's going to be in space.
Going into space,
so
So we built the molds to make the booms for all the structural parts for it.
So you've created companies or helped companies prosper that have invented things that are basically million-year-old plants and made these structural aerospace and going to send this stuff into space, traveling around the globe to help the aerospace and space industries thrive.
Yeah, it's wonderful, and I get the biggest kick out of it even now, all the things that we get involved in.
So tell me about some of the failures that you've had that maybe you could have turned into success, or what's the arc look like? When you're an inventor, a lot of times you're not successful, is that correct?
Yeah, so we have a saying about failing fast. Failing fast is really important. Not falling in love with your idea, right? So it's all about try something. In fact, I'm going to tell you why West Virginia is a great place to do this. And this is sort of what I didn't understand was how Edison pulled off what he did. Until a few years ago, I was at his research laboratory, which has been moved to Dearborn, Michigan, at the Henry Ford Museum in Greenfield Village. And I'm going through the facility, and I'm going, this is too familiar to me. Why? So I went back without family and spent the day. And what I realized is this: Edison's strategy was get a few of the smartest people around, like best educated people, combine them with people that can make anything. So that's machinists and welders and sheet metal fabricators and composite tech. Well, he didn't have composites yet then, but all those kinds of people. And then all innovation comes from, I have an idea and then I make something and then I test that. And then it gives me another idea. And most of the time is not spent on trying to solve the problem. Most of the times running the experiments, building the things to know if it works. So the trick is to do that fast. You do that fast, you're gonna beat everybody. And that's what this area has.
Oh, I see.
This area has people that can make anything and they can do it really quick.
That manufacturing, West Virginia grit, work hard, loyal, committed kind of culture that we grew up in because we did hard work, steel, coal, we build things. And now you're taking that futuristic, innovative, entrepreneurial spirit, laying on top of that and sending coal into space.
That's right, that's exactly
Amazing.
right, yeah.
Amazing.
You got it, yeah.
As I mentioned, we've got a short show here. So if you could give innovators and entrepreneurs a piece of advice that would keep them going, because if you're failing fast, you're failing. And
Yes.
you know, the thing that's nice is you're surrounded by the hills and mountains of West Virginia and nice people. But what's the kind of advice that you give to the folks that are sitting there trying to figure out how to create the next Menlo Park in the northern panhandle of West Virginia?
So most entrepreneurs don't fail, they give up. It's really interesting. If you stick with something long enough, usually you can find your way. But sometimes it's hard and sometimes it's painful and sometimes it's embarrassing, right? If you can't make payroll, that's like the most embarrassing thing ever. Luckily, I've not had that, but I've been really close to it in the early years, over and over. I was right up against it month after month. You just have to live through that time period and you get through it. So I would say companies that fail don't really fail, people just quit.
Maybe starting out in the basement of an old monastery gave you that foundation to not quit, not give up, accept things as they are and keep going.
Yeah, I think so. That could very well be, yeah.
You're an innovative entrepreneur, you're an inventor. We can't thank you enough for being here and introducing us to the future of coal, to the future of metals, so that people can learn more about all of the companies and all of the products that are in Touchstone. Could you give us the best way to connect with you?
Yeah, so I would go to the website. We have 4 websites, but if you go to trl.com, that stands for Touchstone Research Laboratory, but at trl.com you can get linked to all the other websites and see all the things we have going on.
Wonderful, thank you. So everybody, it's trl.com. Brian Joseph, thank you for being here today and joining the Innovator and Entrepreneurs feature for the Daily 304. And thank you for watching. Be sure to follow us on all our social media channels at the Daily 304. You can also stay up to date with all the great things happening in beautiful Almost Heaven, West Virginia by heading on over to wv.gov/daily304, and we'll see you all again next time.